Alright. Lower the size view. 3? I think it's 3. That's good enough. Kingdom Hearts, Boith by Sleep. Prequel to the original, taking place some like 10 years in the past. The worlds are worlds. I don't know, I'm trying to think of the real size of them. Let me see something. Birth by Sleep. Does it have a list of worlds? It does. Okay. So Castle of Dreams. Settings and areas. Altogether, Castle of Dreams has 11 maps. What if I go to Radiant Garden? Let's compare that. Birth by Sleep has 11 maps. I'm sensing a theme here. Let's check. And I'm going to have a point for this, I promise. It's not going to be just me fucking waggling my dick. So yeah, 11 maps in that place. Disney Town has 6. There's a fucking model of Pleakley. Look at that. Ain't that interesting? Crazily enough, 11 maps in deep space. Destiny Islands is just a cutscene place. 11 maps in the Dwarf Woodlands. 13 maps in Maleficent's place. The Keyblade Graveyard, chilling with 3. 4 if you count the Badlands. The Land of Departure, 3. The Mysterious Tower. It has 2. Maybe, no, it has 3. It has 3. So story areas, for the most part, have 3. Other maps have up to 13-ish. Olympus Coliseum has 3. Now here's the question. Kingdom Hearts 2. Radiant Garden. That alone has 14 maps. Plus, you've also got... Jesus Christ, can I close out of this picture? The Cavern of Remembrance, which has 6. And then that also connects to... Fuck, is there a reference to Space Paranoids on this page? There is, but it's not a link to Space Paranoids. Oh, there's one later down. That makes sense. What? Anyway, Space Paranoids has 9 maps. If we look at, say, the Land of Dragons, and I'm deliberately picking a world that's kind of lame, that still has 12. This game consistently has smaller worlds than KH2. It has less enemies in those worlds. It has less going on. Like, the worlds just so often feel lesser compared to previous games. Like, this game has a bit of verticality, which KH1 was good for. But does it really use it that much? There's ramps going up, there's fountains that shoot you up, there's lifts that take you up. Like, everything in this game just feels flat in ways that the previous games kind of didn't. The crazy thing is, it feels flat in the same way that Chain of Memories does. And Chain of Memories is literally a game that is just Sora. There isn't really interaction with other people. You get cutscenes, you get boss fights, you get between worlds. But in worlds, there's nothing. And if that's the best comparison, it's kind of lame. And also, the choice of worlds. It's partially because they wanted to have that connection back to KH1, where in the end of the world, there was the destroyed worlds from Birth by Sleep. So you have Castle of Dreams, you have Dwarf Woodlands, you have Enchanted Dominion. But even then, and like it's also, hey, Maleficent, way back when, at the start of her quest to gain all of darkness. Wait, what is that? Okay. Okay. But even then, you're picking, like, real old Disney stuff that really is not that interesting. Like, you have Maleficent, but then you have Lady Tremaine, a character who makes the cursed coach. She becomes a Heartless in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Oh no, it's summoned by the Darkness in her heart. Like, we're not talking villain here. We're talking an old lady who's a bitch. Like, you push her down some stairs and she's dealt with. You push Maleficent down some stairs and I think she's gonna have some words for you. Well, like the Dwarf Woodlands. You fight the magic mirror twice. Really? Really? But other than that, you have Radiant Garden, because we need to show, you know, Radiant Garden before it became Hollow Bastion, to have that consistency, and because they wanted to show off the data members before they became... Data members? The org members before they became org members. You have Neverland, which I'd say is probably one of the good worlds, because it's a reuse from KH1, but it's an expansion on it. It actually has Neverland, rather than just, it's the ship. What else is there? There's Deep Space, which... I feel like having Stitch again is kind of nice, because it's him before his world gets lost, and then he becomes a summon gem, which, you know, fair enough. That's a good little connection. You have Disney Town before Disney Castle, but at the same time, the castle's already there. So what's the fucking point? Mickey's already a king, and he's already running away. You have the Keyblade Graveyard, because we gotta set up Lingering Will. The Mysterious Tower, because, hey, it's Yen Sid. We gotta use him again. 100 Acre Wood, the Dark World. Olympus Coliseum, which is just a straight KH1 reuse with one new map. Land of Departure, which, story-wise, I actually do quite like, because it eventually becomes Castle Oblivion, and it serves a really good point within the story, I think. But yeah, like, these are not choice worlds. These are not interesting places. There's no Agrabah. There's no Halloween Town. There's no... like, as crazy as it sounds, there's no Atlantica. There's no world where you transform into something. It's just... you have... Keyblade armor. Hey. Crazy. It'd be like Traverse Town was really cool, which I guess the Land of Departure kind of fills in. Deep Jungle, which never returned. Wonderland, which... honestly, no Wonderland after 358 is completely okay. But don't worry, it's back and recoded, because it's just KH1 again. Like, Monstro shows up for a second. 100 Acre Wood isn't even a world. Like, it's... ugh. Meanwhile, if we look into Kingdom Hearts 2 worlds... Censorship. Oh yeah, Port Royal. But yeah, like, there's no Port Royal, which was interesting, even if it was full of bad voice actors. Well, bad. I don't know. Beast Castle, good world. Tamils River is interesting. The Pride Lands, you've got that transformation thing again, even if it is just DeviantArt free bait. The Land of Dragons, Space Paranoids. And then the cool shit that is the world that never was. There's nothing like the world that never was. Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, like the worlds in this game exist and they work. And that is about the best that I can say about them. That's depressing. What else think? There we go. I'm gonna do that. I think I'm ducking into the frame a little bit. So yeah, like they're fine. They're there. They exist. Story-wise, I think playing through this again and actually fully watching it and paying attention to it, this story is not as good as I remember it being because it boils down to Terra, don't do that. Terra proceeds to do that. Terra, why'd you do that? I can't believe you don't trust me, Aqua. And then Ventus always takes Terra's side no matter what. He keeps running away. I don't know. I do think the characters have something of an arc. At the start of the game, Ventus constantly running away. Constantly just trying to make friends. By the end of it, he knows who his friends are. He's realized, he's learned, he's grown. And so he faces Vanitas and he tells his friends the difficult thing. If I fail, if this doesn't work out, end me. It may be the death of him, but do it. Because he knows that's what he has to do. He stops running. Terra starts the game, immediately kills a woman. And then over time, he stops hating women. No, but fucking, he starts the game, he immediately fucks up. And then he goes to the next world and it's like, kill this girl for me. And he's like, I have to kill her? Well, alright. But along the way, I mean, it's kind of the same thing of just like realizing who your friends are. Every character has that last, like, third of the game where they're just like, I know who my friends are. Nothing will separate us. And then things immediately separate them. But yeah, Terra eventually, I think, kind of accepts that he's going to be dark. But then still just plays into Master Xehanort's hand, because he's stupid. Xehanort has been planning this his whole life. And Aqua, ultimately this game is a tragedy. And I enjoy tragedy because Aqua tries her best to keep her friends safe and to do what's right and to, you know, be the best Keyblade master she can be, goddammit. But her friends are stupid, and she does things perhaps a little poorly. She's the one who suffers for it. Terra gets his body stolen, and he ends up, well, I'm trying to remember because it's really fucking confusing. Because there's the Lingering Will, which is like the remaining thoughts and feelings of Terra inhabiting his armor. But Terra's still in his body with Master Xehanort arguing, like in the cutscene in the secret episode? The final episode? I think it was the final episode. No, it would have been secret episode. Anyways. And Ventus, you know, he does the right thing. He defeats Vanitas. He destroys the Kai Blade, I'm going to call it, because Xehanort says that's a valid pronunciation. And, you know, it ends up destroying his heart. And he ends up in the Room of Waking. In the Chamber of Waking. In Olympus Coliseum. Castle Oblivion. My brain's fried. Too much birth by sleep. Description. Sleep. So that I may have my birth by sleep. But yeah, Xehanort, like, I think the big thing is, like, much like with Halo Reach, where it's like, you know how this ends. None of these characters show up in KH1, KH2, or Chain of Memories, or 358. So, like, you know how this is going to end. These characters are not going to be okay by the end of this. And like I said, Aqua takes all the punishment for it. She loses Ventus. She has to leave him to sleep. She loses Terra. She fucking gives up everything to send Terra back to the Realm of Light, even though that proves to be a fucking terrible idea, because it leads to Xehanort and the cohorts fucking killing themselves, banishing Ansem the Wise from Radiant Garden, destroying Hollow Bastion, I think. Maybe Maleficent does that. I don't recall. They don't actually explain. And, yeah, that leads to Ansem and Xemnas being made. That leads to all of KH1. Leads to all of KH2. Like, girl, let Terra fall to the realm of darkness. You being around would be much more valuable than Terra being around. But she does the right thing. She saves him. And then she chills in the Realm of Darkness for like 10 years. Talks to Ansem the Wise. Beats him Heartless up. Fights. Whatever the fuck that thing was. And then point 2 eventually happens. So once I get to that little bit will fill in. But yeah, I think going through it again, I don't remember what I gave 358. And I don't remember what I gave KH2. But I definitely think it's somewhere between those two. Because I don't know. I think 358 is a brilliant look at 3 characters. And it's just about those 3 characters. Everything else in the game happens because it revolves around those 3 characters. The organization members, they're only there to bounce off of these 3 characters. This game is trying to tell a story to set up another game. And I don't like when things do that. Because it always just feels flimsy and forced. But it's also more of a story than Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. So, you know, they actually tried to tell an interesting story. They tried to have an interesting way they tell the story. But at the same time, like, I don't know if the 3-character narrative worked the way they wanted it to. Because it's like I'd read at one time and I think mentioned, you play as Terra, and you have Ventus's entire story spoiled for you. So then you play Ventus, and you already know what's going to happen. You already know everything. Then you get to the end of Ventus's thing, and the most payoff you have is Ventus fighting Vanitas in Dive to the Heart, and then it's over. You don't even see what happens after that. So all of Ventus's story's reveals are meaningless. Meanwhile, you play Ventus first, you know, you get no insight into how Terra ends up, which is good. You don't necessarily get the full picture of Ventus' story, but you get the meat and potatoes of it filled in, which I quite like. And then you have Aqua's story, where you kind of see... You just see people kind of drift away. And so I think it really depends on what order you play them in, and I think... See, I don't know if I want them to, like, force you into a certain order, because what if they pick the wrong order? And I don't know if I would prefer it where it's kind of more sort of episodic, where, like, you play a Terra world, you finish that world, then you play a Ventus world, you finish that world, then you go back to Terra, then you go to Aqua, then you go to Ventus, then you go to Terra, then you go to Aqua, then you go to Ventus, then you go to Aqua. Like, doing a full playthrough at once and then doing another one, I don't know if that's better than the entire game being one long playthrough, where you swap characters over and over again. But also, that could get annoying, because how do you handle going to different worlds? How do you handle grinding synth stuff? How do you grind levels? Like, ultimately, I do think the individual playthroughs are the best way to do it, but it's also so fucking jank, because, like, beat Terra's story. You should keep the save data there, champ. You might need it later. Why can't the game just keep track of that? Why does it have to... Why am I required to have that save data present when I'm playing a video game that has storage? Why not have just, like, a system file for the game? Who knows? But yeah, so, like, I don't know. It's... story... It's one of the better ones. That's about the best I can give it. Characters... I do like the characters in this. They definitely have more personality and more presence. I don't think they beat the Sea Salt Trio. I'm trying to remember. Are these called the Wayfinder Trio? Kingdom Hearts Trios. The best friendship trios in Kingdom Hearts. Thank you, the gamer. Can we just show me the trios? Damn. What the fuck? That's crazy. Somebody really put Roxas Axel Shion at the very bottom. That's crazy. So I guess they're called the Trinity Trio, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and then Destiny Islands Trio. I don't know, I can't find actual fucking names for these. Anyways. Wow, that's some fucking DeviantArt shit. Neat. But yeah, I do think that these characters have some actual personality, even if the voice acting kind of betrays it from time to time. Somewhere out there, there's a tree with star-shaped fruit. Terra would never do that. Like, wake up, Aqua, please. Actually like you. But yeah, like, Terra's headstrong and stupid. Ventus is young and inexperienced. Aqua is adept and kind of bad with people. But she cares, she tries to do what's right. She stands by her friends. Like, these characters all have flaws. That's good. Because, like, otherwise you have Sora, who does the right thing and is kind of doofy. You have Riku, who's an actual character, and has writing and presence. But, like, I don't know, you're just not beating Roxas, Axel, and Shion. So, like, you know, characters are good. The gameplay. Oh, sweet fuck. Kill me. I don't know. I don't know why they did this. I really don't know why they did this. Because, like, especially on Birth by Sleep, this game's problems are so fucking glaring. No enemy in the game breaks, like, 5 health bars. And even, like, the chunkiest enemies are, like, a health bar and a half. And your damage never feels like it gets good on just basic attacks until you hit the end game and you are way over leveled for everything. But even then, those lower HP values just mean, like, I don't know. I think the big thing is, like, combos don't work because some enemies just don't get stunned by them. And so having a longer combo, using, like, Combo Plus or whatever, just doesn't work. It doesn't feel good, it's not useful, because you're not going to get a chance to do that full combo. And so, like, a 3-hit combo is fine. A basic 3-hit combo is okay. And that basic 3-hit combo, fully killing an enemy, it's alright. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But after Cage 2's combat, which I feel like on a PSP they could absolutely do, because 358 gets close enough. On a DS. Like, we have more processing power here. I'm pretty sure we could have had a bit of a better fucking combat system, but that's the problem with the Osaka team, is they don't. They just don't. Yeah. Another problem is the combos never change. Your basic 3-hit string with Aqua at the start of her playthrough, if I remember correctly, is going to be the same 3-hit combo that you have at the end of the game. And there's no combo master, so if an attack has a shitty hitbox, damn, get fucked, champ. Get fucked. Or at least, if there's a combo master, I didn't get it. But yeah, and the reason for your combos never changing is because, 1, you have the command system, which I'll get into in a second. 2, you have command styles, which are the things that change it, but even then, they change it temporarily, and they change it for that exact style. You have your basic combo, you enter Thunderstorm. You have Thunderstorm's combos. You exit Thunderstorm, you're back to your original combos. Nothing has actually changed, we've just swapped things out. We've swapped the whole thing out. And that's not interesting because it's just going to be, I use this, and now I'm back to using this, and now I'm back to using this, and now I'm back to using that. You know, Cage 2, you don't want to use Shot Lock? Turn off Shot Lock. You don't want to use Aerial Sweep? Turn off Aerial Sweep. You get to choose how your combos work. And that's so nice. Yeah. Deck commands. I swear I read somewhere that this was supposed to be their way of making Kingdom Hearts not a press triangle to win fest, which is what people believed KH2 is. And holy shit, those people did not play critical difficulty. They really didn't, partially because Final Mix wouldn't have existed back then. But no. Deck commands are a fucking mistake. And the reason I say that is because there's so many that are mostly like starting game commands, which is fair enough, that are just shit. They're just terrible. Bad hitboxes, slow as fuck, leave you wide open, deal no damage, etc., etc. And then you'll have, you know, late game commands like basic, they appear to be basic, advanced, and then ultimate for like their level of power. Jump in the air and stomp on an enemy. What? The fuck is stomp? Oh, okay. That's when you transform. But yeah, and there are so many commands, and you really don't need there to be. I wish I could get an easy way to check how many there are, but fuck me, there are a lot. Wait a minute, I can just check the, I can check the journal. One moment. Command collection. You have 4, 8, 9, 18... What is that, 24 attack commands with Aqua? Who probably has the least? You have 9 by 5 plus 6, so 45. 51 magic commands with Aqua. You have about 17 items, about 15 friendship commands. Then you have the action commands, which I'm not too worried about. There's about 12 shot locks, and the various D-links. I'll talk about in a second. Yeah, so, like, you have so many. 56 fucking commands. And there's even some magic commands that Aqua doesn't get, that Terra and Ventus do. But why does any of that matter when Thunder Surge exists? And ultimately, KH2 has some things that are really powerful and just reduce some bosses to being a fucking joke. Saïx gets deleted by Peter Pan. I think Terra, the Lingering Will, even gets bodied by Peter Pan. And Saïx might also get messed up by Fenrir negative combo, the same way that the Lingering Will does. But there's a couple differences there. One, that is an endgame fight. Two, most people didn't even use summons, so who the fuck's gonna know? Three, that is a very specific setup for very specific bosses. And those bosses are interesting fights outside of that. So there's so many ways, so many options, so many different choices the player can make in those fights when it comes to fighting that boss. But with Birth by Sleep, so often, the answer to every single thing in the game is Thunder Surge. Basic enemies? Why use basic attacks when you have Thunder Surge? Boss fights? Thunder Surge. Is there a list of the boss fights in this game? That'd be muy bueno. If we could pass me one of those, my guy. Let's see. KHBBS boss fights. Optional bosses. No, I would like all bosses, please. Birth by Sleep. Is there a... There really isn't just a list of all bosses, huh? That's weird. Well, I have a list of the optional bosses. Armor of Ericus, Thunder Surge. You can use shot locks if you want. Iron Imprisoner, Thunder Surge. Iron Imprisoner 2 through 4, Thunder Surge. The Mimic Master, Thunder Surge. Monstro. If you already have Thunder Surge equipped, you just do that. Otherwise, you can do Mega Flare into the thing, and bing bang boom, you've used 2 different commands for 1 fight to speed it up. But you can get to the fight just fine, and with plenty of time to spare, by just using Thunder Surge. No heart, literally Thunder Surge, because you need that invincibility for that fight. And even if I go back to Table of Contents, is there an option for bosses? This only counts the regular enemies. Jesus, I'm just gonna have to open all of these things individually, aren't I? Yes. Lovely. The Cursed Coach. Thunder Surge fucking deletes it. The Magic Mirror. Thunder Surge fucking deletes it. The Enchanted Dominion, Dragon Maleficent. If you have it in time, Thunder Surge, baby. And that's the thing. All the early game fights actually have thinking and, like, challenge to them, because you don't have Thunder Surge yet, unless you've gone out of your way to specifically make it, which new players won't have done. But, you know, the Vanitas boss fight. You use Thunder Surge, you cure up if you need to, because everything else is just going to get you toasted. And, like, Thunder Surge is still going to get you toasted a couple times, but it's really not going to matter too much. The Trinity Armor. Thunder Surge, Thunder. Like, that's still early enough in the game to where it's not going to matter too much. Zack gets deleted by Thunder Surge. Or Mines are good. I'm trying to remember. You can get one shot by him, which is funny. Hades and the Ice Colossus. Focus one of them, Thunder Surge them down. Easy peasy. Gontu. My god, Thunder Surge his knees. Vanitas, again. It's literally the same fight. You fight him like 6 times at the fucking game. Keyblade Graveyard. Braig. Thunder Surge. Mines and Barrier should be used to Aqua's advantage. Why? Just Thunder Surge. Like, the problem is, the ridiculous overpowered shit in Cage 2 boils down to Fenrir negative combo, which works on, to my knowledge, 2 bosses. Peter Pan, which works on 2 bosses. And Final Form, which is super cool, interesting gameplay, very powerful, and it's earned. It's at the end of the game, we have a narrative reason for it. It looks sick, it's got great movement. It's peak. Literally Kingdom Hearts peak. Yeah, like nothing about becoming stronger in this game feels earned, really. And also just going back to basic gameplay. The differences between the characters, this thing lists it as strong physical attacks for Terra, slow speed, and poor magic. None of that matters because Thunder Surge does ridiculous damage. Terra's slow speed matters because his dodge roll is dog shit. And it will get you killed. Ventus. He's got a better dodge roll. He's just medium. His advantage is speed, and even then his roll is worse than Aqua's, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the exact invincibility frames, but at the very least, his roll will keep him alive. Aqua. Poor physical attacks, medium speed, strong magic. Magic in this game is just good. Like, starting off with good magic is not really a downside, because you just grab Thunders, and you're good. Thunders and Thunder Surge. But, like, fighting endgame bosses with Terra is ass. Because you're just gonna get hit, which means you're just gonna burn your cures, which means you're running away more in order to wait for your cooldowns to come back. And it just does not feel good. Like, I've watched a video of somebody fighting the mysterious figure with Terra, and, like, he basically plays the fight perfectly. He dodges every attack exactly how he needs to, he avoids things properly, and, like, it's not Aqua roll spam. And one of the comments I saw in the video was like, wow, this makes it look like one of the boss fights from any other game in the series. And it's like, if that's what you need to make that fight look interesting, to make it look like a proper Kingdom Hearts fight, fuck off. Genuinely. But yeah, then you have shot locks, which, I mean, they're alright. You stand still, get yourself hit, get some invincibility frames, deal some damage, and then you build the bar back. The problem is, Kingdom Hearts 2 has drive, which is interesting. This game has shot locks, where you become invincible and you deal some damage, and then you recharge it. And this page is saying that there's 4 types of shot locks. Projectile types, like Meteor Shower, which just kind of... yeah, it's the bubble thing, but reskinned. You have salvo types, which Ragnarok counts as. Which I really don't think is that much different from projectile types, but I guess it's a different animation. Rush types, like Proton Charge, or that ice thing that I had. Absolute Zero, where you just dash at shit. And then unique types. Unique type shot locks have a different attack for each shot lock. These shot locks include each character's ultimate shot lock and Dark Link, used during Ventus's fight with Vanitas, which I think you... what do you even do with that? Oh, is that just the big laser beam? I think that is the big laser beam. Terra gets Ultima Cannon, which Lingering Will. Huge. Ventus gets Multi-Vortex? I don't know what that is. He swings around and then becomes a tornado. Okay. And Aqua gets Light Bloom. Spy game recap. Huge. Yeah. I truly am backstabbing this game with how fucking much I hate it. Yeah, and then it clarifies. Each shot lock can be enhanced by performing a certain action to add extra attacks. And there are only 4. Press a button rapidly, press random buttons, time button presses, and spin a stick. Someone ran over a crowd with a van. Jesus Christ. Ah, it was racism. Lovely. Goddamn. Yeah, and then finish commands are just a pain in the dick. Command styles are not interesting. Activates when you use your sweetest commands. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. Yeah, and it's literally just like... Terra's strong thing, Ventus's fast thing, Aqua's magic thing, fire, ice, thunder, blade charge. Yeah, I don't know. Big swing. Rock breaker for Terra, which is probably just critical impact, but more. Cyclone, sky climber. I don't even. Okay, I don't think I've ever activated that. Ghost drive, which is cool. Rhythm mixer, which is kind of cool. Dark impulse, which is neat and story. Wing blade for Ventus. But again, it's that problem of just like, we're completely swapping out our basic gameplay for slightly different gameplay. And not better gameplay, just different gameplay. And that's not interesting. And then you have D-Links, which is just it leading into exactly the same problems the command style, or the deck commands, that's what they are. The deck commands have. But just, you instead have different commands. And at the start of the game, that can be really cool. That can be really useful. Because, you know, Terra and Ventus gain access to Cure. And Aqua gains access to not Cure. How useful. Yeah, the basic gameplay is unsatisfying. The boss fights are a pain in the butt enough to where cheesing them out with Thunder Surge is your best option nearly every time. And it's only boss fights that very specifically are designed to avoid that shit, like Vanitas Remnant. And to some degree the Mysterious Figure, but even then, I Thunder Surge through that. But yeah, the Vanitas Remnant, where like, it's specifically designed to fuck Cure over. Which means swap out Cure for elixirs, and you're good. Nothing changes, and there's never enough of a push for a player to learn more, to do more, to be more, to use more than just Thunder Surge. You're gonna find the one command you like, and you're gonna spam that shit till the end of time. You know, a player who doesn't like magic in Cage 2 is going to have to use magic against Grim Reaper. A person could theoretically go through the whole game with no drive forms. But the amount of power that they give you a good reason to actually use them. The summons a lot of people didn't use. But they all have unique things about them that make them really useful in certain situations. But even then, if you strip away drive, if you strip away magic, if you strip away... Well, don't strip away magic. If you strip away drive, summons, the different combo modifiers, you still have fundamentally enjoyable gameplay in Cage 2. Because there's a massive enemy variety. Oh, that's another thing I can talk about. Enemy variety. You have a ton of enemies, you have interesting hits, you have a good combo system that weaves magic into it along with the basic attacks. It's just good. This game isn't. Because your commands are completely separate. I'm trying to think if you can make something interesting with it by having commands be a part of your combos. Because the weird thing about this game is there's some commands in some situations where your commands will actually mix in with your combos. You can do 2 hits, use a thunder, and then go for your finisher. And that's a nice little combo extension. But then there's other times where you'll go for 2 hits, you'll use aerial slam or something, you'll use quick blitz, and it just ends your combo. It kills it completely, so you have to go back to the start. And so I'm wondering if there's something that could be done where you make commands either part of the combo system, or you have them be combo extension tools, and have that be interesting. But then you run into the problem of things in this game just don't get staggered sometimes. And there'll be attacks where an enemy not staggering, like specifically the Zack fight, an enemy not staggering becomes a huge problem. So it's just... anyways, enemy variety. Ignoring the bosses, let's take a peek at the Unversed. Where is Unversed? Give me a page about the Unversed, please. Thank you. The Lump of Horror. Oh, no, that's Cage 3. I forgot about that. Let's see, you have 3, 6, 9, 12... What was that? 14? It's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23... 23 unversed enemies. Kingdom Hearts 2 enemies. Let's see. This thing is saying there's 94 enemies in Cage 2. That's going to be counting a lot of extra stuff. It's going to be counting gummy enemies. It's going to be counting certain characters that aren't Heartless or nobodies. Fuck, why do wikis do this? There's gotta be an easier way. Heartless. Kingdom Hearts 2 introduced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 new Heartless to the series. And that's not including the Heartless that it brought back. Which I think is things like the Air Soldier? Air Pirate? The Air Pirate definitely came back. The Bandit doesn't come back. The Monkey doesn't come back. Fat Bandit comes back. Still not as good as Fallout Tactics. Fallout Tactics had like 6 enemies. But yeah, the large body. There really aren't many to come back. The White Knights. Yeah. And then Final Mix added a few more enemies that I think are, for the most part, reskins of enemies from the main game. But those enemies also have unique design that change them up a little bit. And that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's something like 40 enemies. And that's not including the nobodies, of which there's like 7 or 8. and those guys are all really cool. This game has so few fucking enemies in it. And even then, so many of the ideas are just rehashes. The basic Flood is just the Shadow. The Scrapper is just the Soldier. The Bruiser is just the Large Body. The Red Hot Chili, the Blue Sea Salt, the Yellow Mustard, they're all just the KH-1 enemies again. They might have a new attack or two. That's about it. Things like the Mono Trucker, the little miney guy, Thornbite, the plant thing, the Shoegazer, those are new enemies. The Tank Toppler, I don't know why it exists. The Wild Bruiser, it's a big monkey. The Buckle Bruiser is just a slight change of the Bruiser, to the point of it is literally Buckle Bruiser and Bruiser. Like, it's just not a solid enemy roster. And so you have unenjoyable attacks to fight enemies that aren't fun to fight. And you may as well just be using the same ability throughout the entire game. I think my Thunder Surge stats was something like 2,500 times used throughout all of Birth by Sleep. That's fucking insane. Nothing should be that good to where it is the only option that you pick in every situation. There's times in KH2 where Final Form is not the answer. Either because of the cost it has, either because of losing access to certain things, or just because something else is better. Sometimes a summon can do so much more than Final Form does. And so it's just so fucking painful. Like, genuinely. So much worse. And even then, it's... I don't know, I've still played games that have worse gameplay than this. I've still played games that are less satisfying. It's not the worst thing ever. And so it's a bit below average. But it's not the worst. Somehow. Music-wise, I don't think this game has the best music. It borrows a lot of tracks from elsewhere in the series. But, like, you know, I can remember Shion's theme. And Vector to the Heavens. I can remember KH2's music. And the KH2 music that they fucking copy and pasted into this game is still good. Radiant Garden's theme is still good. Mysterious Tower is still fantastic. Rage Awakened when you play as the Lingering Will, that's a powerful moment right there. Sadly, you're not playing as the Lingering Will. You're playing as Terra. And so it's just Thunder Surge. You don't have Ultima Cannon unless you went and got it, which I didn't. You don't have the Keyblade Glider doesn't attack, you don't have the Whip. You don't have all the things that the Lingering Will either realized or just brute forces with its rage after 10 years of sitting there. But yeah, the rest of the music, it's fine. I think I might be slightly biased because there was a YouTuber that I watched who had modded in Birth by Sleep music, and the fucking... It's not called Bad Apple. What the hell is the song called? HBBS soundtrack. Wicked Woods? Birth by Sleep OST. I have no idea what the song is called. I could have sworn it was a Birth by Sleep song. Maybe the name has changed? Birth by Sleep and 358 Days. Maybe it's Risky Bomb. Silent Forest? The Rumbling Forest? I don't know, it's from one of the first 3 worlds. Yeah, no. It's fine, but it almost feels like Yoko Shimomura kind of phoning it in, and just making Yoko Shimomura songs. Like, it feels like she was just cashing the check, which I'm sure she wasn't. I'm sure she did a lovely job. I think she was the one who did the music for this game. I don't honestly know. Do they have a list of who the composer was? Music. Fuck. KHPBS composer. Did she do Birth by Sleep? 358 days. She did Birth by Sleep. With Tsuyoshi Sekito and Takahara Ishimoto. So 2 other people were involved. You know, Kingdom Hearts 2? That's all her. Kingdom Hearts Reach Into Memories? That's all her. Kingdom Hearts 1? That's all her, baby. Street Fighter 2? I think she did Guile's theme. You fucking know, baby. But yeah, she also did, like, Super Mario RPG and Mario and Luigi music, and, like, her works in that are fucking fantastic. These songs are good. But they're just good. So, like, I don't know. I don't find myself ever going back to listen to the Birth by Sleep soundtrack, and maybe it's because, in my opinion, of the game kind of taints it a little bit, but still. Lengthwise. Fuck! Holy shit. So, I don't remember how long KH2 took to do everything in the game. I think it was like 25 to 35 hours. And that was to 100% that game. That was to fight every boss, to do all the synth grinding, to beat Sephiroth, do all the cups, beat all the mini-games, get all the chests, do the puzzles, everything. Every single thing in that game. I've spent 40 hours playing this game. Well, not 40 hours. My saves have 40 hours. I'm probably close to like 30-ish hours of gameplay. But the average, it says, for a character's playthrough is about 10 hours. It took about 6 to 7 for me. But let's say 10 hours. So much of that is repeat cutscenes. So that's 30 hours where you were watching certain cutscenes 3 times. You are re-going through certain sections of the game 3 times. You are exploring, for the most part, the same worlds minus a map or 2. Because I don't think a single character gets all the maps in a single world. So you end up about maybe 8-ish, 9-ish maps for a given character in a given world. And, like, the movement pads it out so much because of how fucking slow you are. Sora would fucking zoom through all of these locations in record time. But then you have all the bonus content where a regular Kingdom Hearts game, you beat the game, you do the bonus content, you're done. This game, you beat the game, you do the bonus content. Then you have to beat the game again and do the bonus content. Then you have to beat the game again and do the bonus content. And then you have 2 more episodes to do, which, admittedly, they're quite short, if you make them quite short. The final episode, you can go straight to Radiant Garden, fight Terranort, and you're done, I think. I don't fully remember. They kind of blend together for me. The secret episode does have new areas, it has new enemies, has a new boss, has new story stuff. It's a bit longer, it's a bit chunky. That's good, because it's still not that long. But it's just... There's such insane amounts of padding because of the 30 characters. And it makes it probably the longest Kingdom Hearts game in terms of 100%ing. I mean, it easily is. Because I think even... like, Point 2 does not take very long at all. Point 2 does not have much to it. Dream Drop Distance? I actually need to go check the achievements for that, because I'm terrified of what they might be. 2.8 HD chapter, the final chapter prologue. Defeat the Phantom Arslan, begin the Mark of Mastery. Walk a long distance within a single map. What does that mean, game? What does that fucking mean? Oh, Jesus. Max out and install all support and spirits abilities, which I think means leveling one of each of the Dream Eaters. Fuck that. Fill out the journal. Fill out the journal. Obtain all commands. That worries me. Fill out the journal. Obtain all recipes, which I think is filling out the journal. Complete all objectives. Fill out the journal. Do the unversed missions, but under a different name. In all the locations. Achieve a rush level of 20. What is that? But yeah, like, bare minimum, Dream Drop Distance is going to have you do probably a lot of the... It's going to have you do a lot of nonsense, but it's going to have you do it at most twice. This game makes you do it 3 times. And... there's just going to be so much. It's just... awful. It's just off. Bad. I don't know what games are even in this. Is it just those 2? No, not Integra Masterpiece. I don't care. Yeah, it's just Dream Drop Distance, and it's just Birth by Sleep, or 0.2 Birth by Sleep. Okay. Yeah, 69 achievements between them. I genuinely don't think that that's going to be as bad as this, but I also don't remember what the minigames are like in that. So this game is the longest of all of them, and it feels like it. This has been a slog, and I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I don't fucking care anymore. I wanted all the achievements in all the games. I will settle for all the achievements in all the games up until this point. Maybe all the games after it. We'll have to wait and see. But I will not be getting all the achievements in this game. So, length of the story, it's too fucking padded out. And if it was just the length of the story, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. But the amount of extra padding on top of that, if you want to play more of this game, between Command Board, between the racing, between Fruit Ball, between all of the arena shit that you have to do 3 times, between the unversed missions 3 times, all of it 3 times, is fucking offensive. Jank-wise, this is like the jankiest one so far. How are you jankier than a DS game? Because 358 had some attacks that would whiff, some attacks that wouldn't work right. But this game has so much shit to it that just feels like it doesn't work. Enemies that you're supposed to fight in a certain way, and then certain attacks just, you don't. You fight them however you like. Thunder Surge defeating the diver suit looking guys, no matter what. I guess because it stuns them, so they don't have time to inflate? I don't know. But yeah, like basic attacks, whiffing for no reason. The amount of camera shenanigans that I've seen, there's just been so much stuff that feels like it doesn't work properly. And it's not funny jank. It's just kind of boring, frustrating, annoying jank. So like this game is pretty jank. For a Kingdom Hearts game, it's fucking amazingly jank. Ridiculous. And lastly, the DLC. Birth by Sleep. Final Mix. I should probably throw that on the title. Yeah, hold on. Whoops. Final Mix. It was there the whole time, don't worry about it. Theoretically, I could edit that on top afterwards, which would be very funny. Okay, so if I minimize that, it goes away. That's fine. Alright, so. What did Birth by Sleep Final Mix add to the game? It added critical mode, which, honestly, I think the best part of that is that you can get to the secret level, or secret ending, a lot easier. Speaking of which, so Birth by Sleep beginner mode, blank points cannot be unlocked. Standard mode, you must complete the report section, so you must fill out everything. Jesus. Wait a minute, is there... Okay, no, this is probably Final Mix it's talking about. Okay. So yeah, standard, you have to complete the reports and the final episode. Proud mode, you have to just complete the final episode. And critical mode, you just have to complete the final episode. But let's say that you wanted to compare the difference between Proud and Critical. Because Proud, for the most part, has never been a difficulty worth playing. Except for, like, achievements where it's like, beat the game on the hardest difficulty, like KH1. Because that's all we had back then. Players deal normal damage. Players receive 2 times the damage compared to standard. And that's it. With critical mode, the damage is the same, the player deals normal, and the player receives 2 times the damage compared to standard. But, compared to standard, you get 25% less experience. You end up with half the health you do on standard, I think. I think that's how that math works out. You begin the game with 5 command slots, which might be different, or it might be like you'll only start the game with 3 on lower difficulties, and you get experience 0 as an ability. That's it. And if I compare this game very unfavorably to Kingdom Hearts 2, once again, as is my fucking remit. Let's see. You take twice the damage. You deal 1.25 times damage, which makes the fights go faster, which is really nice. You end up with 60 HP and 120 MP, which is a lot less than normal, I believe. You still have the same 75% of XP gain. You're still missing out on 25 experience. But the game also gives you a lot of ways to really bump that up later in the game. Roxas learns Reaction Boost, Finishing Plus, Draw, 2 Lucky Luckies, and MP Astera, and no experience on the 3rd day. So you have a bunch of abilities that are unique to that difficulty that change up how it plays. You start the game with 50 AP, so you could equip those abilities. AP increases are increments of 3 instead of 2, so as the game progresses, you can still keep equipping more and more abilities. The change list between critical difficulty in Birth by Sleep and in KH2 are ridiculous. If it weren't for the fact that I think I had to play on crit, I probably wouldn't have. Although at the same time, I think the experience... No, you would have more health on Proud. Yeah, you'd still take the same damage. Oh, well. Oh, is that how that works? Interesting. So yeah, all Unversed have been given new color schemes. The usual final mix. Let's fuck up the colors because of reasons. The sticker album has been added. So you can now pick up stickers. Neat. Which I guess is equivalent to the puzzle pieces. The Rhythm Mixer command style has been added. I mean, it's powerful. It's good. It's useful in some fights. Unison Rush, Voltage Stack, Aerial Recovery, and Illusion commands have been added, so normally, in Birth by Sleep, you would have gotten your ass beat, and then just have to fall to the ground. But even then... I'm trying to think if it would even be useful to Aerial Recovery in a lot of fights. Depending on the enemy's abilities, you might still be dead anyway. But yeah, Unison Rush. It allows the user to rush enemies together with teammates. Okay. Voltage Stack. It allows the user to team up with friends and jolt enemies with electricity. Okay. Aerial Recovery. It's been in all the other games. Probably works the same way. And then the illusion commands which will let you turn into enemies, which is a neat enough idea. But ultimately, it's a gimmick. Characters in certain cutscenes, including ones on the Destiny Islands with Sora and Riku, are given higher quality facial animations. All that tells me is, this game was a fucking... best. Before Final Mix. That's horrifying. The Skull Board has been added as command board. Fuck command board. Pete has been added as a dimension link, which you get through command board, and fuck command board. The Castle Circuit track has been added to Rumble Racing. Rumble Racing sucks. The Destiny Island song has been added to Ice Cream Beat. That sucks. The Vanitas Remnant drops the Void Gear. So wait, was Vanitas Remnant a fight originally, and it didn't drop? It didn't give you anything. Did it seriously not give you anything? It gave you a secret gem. Holy shit. That's amazing. Cool, you beat, like, the hardest boss in the game. One of the hardest. You beat a very difficult boss. Here's a synth item. And only a synth item. You know, Terra at least gave you a crown. The Unknown appears as a boss and drops the No Name, which I believe is the mysterious figure. And, yeah, fuck that. That is awful. That is horrendous. How dare you? Just... Despite this odd situation, his scene is within canon. Okay. But I mean, more super bosses, more in-game fights, I wouldn't say are a bad thing. The Armor of Ericus, Monstro, and No Heart appears bosses of 3 new Mirage Arena battles. I would not call Monstro a boss fight. He's a moving health bar. And you fight regular enemies. Very odd. Armor of Ericus, again, it's a slog of a fight. You deal so little damage, and he's just got attacks that hunt you down. He's just got so much shit. You get the Royal Radiance, the best Keyblade in the game. The theater mode now has the option of viewing cutscenes in Japanese or English, although both options feature Japanese subtitles. Okay. A new secret scene named A Fragmentary Passage has been introduced in contrast to the secret movies seen in previous games. In the secret episode, the player can actually control the characters that appear, rather than just watching the scene as a bystander. Additionally, 3 new cutscenes with Aqua were also created and recorded in Japanese. What? And then there's a thing that has to do with Dissidia. I don't care. So ultimately, these additions don't really matter that much. You know, it's what? 4 new bosses? 4 new bosses, less than 10 new commands, cutscenes look slightly better. Several minigames got some extra content. They added critical, as they tend to do. Like, there's nothing here that gets me excited about critical. So as a DLC for a Kingdom Hearts game, it's fairly fucking lacking. It is a lacking DLC in a game that is already lacking itself. Perhaps the weakest addition so far. Because KH1, you had a bunch of new synth items. You had, I think, a new boss? A new boss or 2 new bosses? I don't remember. Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Let's take a peek. But yeah, the fact that I can, like, actually scroll down the page on KH1 Final Mix, that tells you some things. Yeah, there is Unknown, a new boss. But you also have so much other shit. New like, the difficulty system was completely reworked. Almost all existing Heartless in the game were given a new palette swap. There's 2 new Keyblades, 2 new staves, 2 new shields, a bunch of new abilities, a bunch of new accessories, a bunch of synth materials you get from new Heartless. There's more story stuff that gets filled in, gameplay changes have been made, there's been a rebalance of most of the weapons and abilities in the game. Well, not most of. A lot of the weapons, some of the abilities. Like, it's crazy how Birth by Sleep has so little to it, and then there's even less in its Final Mix. Yeah, all in all, I feel like there's still things that I can enjoy about 358, even if that game is lesser. I think I come into it with lower expectations. I think that it being a simpler DS game rather than a PSP game that looks like KH2, that for all intents and purposes is pretty close to feeling like KH2, just drops so far below what it promises and just ends up being a disappointment. So in the past, I did not think Birth by Sleep was that bad. I thought it was still a good game, but it was just not that good of a Kingdom Hearts game. Not anymore. I'm trying to think. I spent like 120 hours on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I think I genuinely had more fun with that game in all those 120 hours than I did in the 40-ish hours I spent playing this game. And I like Kingdom Hearts way more than I like Assassin's Creed. But the game was just more enjoyable. Yeah, so that is the end of Birth by Sleep. I think next, in the Kingdom Hearts series, I'm gonna have to break out the jank DS setup again. Can I just find the Kingdom Hearts series, please? That's all I want. Just give me the series. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, after Birth by Sleep, there would be Recoded, which... yeah. It apparently came out the same year. Oh no, in the US and Canada, Recoded came out January 2011. Birth by Sleep came out September 2010. Yeah, it makes sense to play those games in Birth by Sleep, then Recoded order for the story anyway. But honestly, I really like Recoded. I enjoy that game. It has a lot of unique ideas. And for a DS game, that's pretty impressive. It is much grander, I think, than Days, where Days was a lot of filler with the missions. Recoded, I think, plays with a lot of unique ideas, and I think that's good. I enjoy that. So yeah, that'll be next. Unless I decide to take a break from the series, which... I don't think I'll need to do. There's been things I've been wanting to play. So maybe I will take a break for a game or two. But I don't want to give up on this fucking series again. I don't want to do what I did last time and just stop playing it. I want to actually get through it. So yeah, that'll be it for me. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. I've been rambling about this game on this screen for entirely too long. But thank you all very much for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!